What's going on, YouTube? This is Tinker Master Tech again, and with another installment. Now, like I told you before, I am going to place this network plug adapter into my control box for my ROV. I've already etched out. What I've done is I've laid this network adapter into the front of it and took and etched around it, so that way I could cut it out. Now, word of the wise, don't go too far. It doesn't make a lot of sense to cut up extra parts of your box that you don't have to. But I'm going to cut this out, and then later on I'm going to actually epoxy it into the inside, just with a little bit of the front sticking out. But see, I still have to release these clips and fill in the inside of this with the epoxies, because I don't want water to leak, because there's little gaps that's going to let water in. The inside of this is brass and this is stainless steel, so it's not going to hurt that, but I don't want the box full of water, so I'm going to seal all of it as possible. You know, sometimes there's going to be leaks, there ain't much you can do about it, but I'm going to do that a little bit later on. Something else I wanted to show you today is I just got in my shipment from eBay. Now, this is the networking cable that I was telling you about. Very, very good quality. $13. Now, you can't go to Walmart, you can't go to Lowe's, anything like that, and get it for this cheap. Not with the tips of the cable already terminated. It's Cat 5, like I told you before. We don't need Cat 7 or anything like that, because we're not actually running network. We're just using the connectivity of the wires to activate the relays. Now, later on I'm going to do a test on an old cable. I've got some cheap cables laying around. I want to see if they will how much they will carry power wise, because if I can run a full 12 volts to the activation spot of the relay, I will, but I would rather, you know, be on the safe side than, you know, have a cable burn out. You know, that's going to stop a relay, might stop my send floats. I don't want that, so we're going to do a little bit of testing later on that. That's 100 feet for $13. You cannot get any better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put y'all on hold, and I'm going to finish cutting out this small little square and let you see what it's going to, how it's going to set in the box, because I want to be able to have good access to my soldering points, because once I get everything soldered in, you know, I don't want them binding against the wires. But if it works out the way that I think it will, if you look what's part of the board here, just like it would in the normal router box, it sticks out just so far so it can protrude. So I'm hoping that's going to be the same way, you know, with this box. But I will put y'all on hold, and I will be back in just a second. Bear with me. Okay, everybody, I'm back, and through the miracles of video, the case has been cut, and I am ready to install my network cable holder. Now, all it should do is just pop right into place, and voila, my network connections is ready. I have easy access to my soldering points for all my relays, and I apologize for how dark the video is, but my battery began to die while I was cutting this out. But you can etch with a razor, any standard razor, carpet cutter, box cutter, to get the line that you need to cut out this plastic. But it is some very heavy duty plastic. You're not going to cut all the way through with a normal razor. So since we tinker here and you don't always have the right tools, I have this. It is just a wood burning pin, and if you notice at the end I have the curved tip. Makes it easy just to drop it inside the plastic and just pull back. That cut out the bulk of it. Once I got it out, then I just trimmed the edges as I needed. Now this is a really snug fit. It'll make it much easier to keep from once I put the epoxy on to keep any water out. But if you notice, even though this is tinkering, it looks professional, looks like it was built to the box, and before it's over with, this box will be full of relays, and each relay is going to have its own individual LED. So whenever it activates, a nice green glow will come through the relay and through the box. That's the reason I'm really glad this was a clear box. But I've got more of the screw-in points to put in. Now, something to let you know, most people, they'll unscrew these connector points, and once you unscrew it, I don't know if you can see it through the video, maybe if I pointed at the monitor, yeah, you can see the hole that's through this metal stud. Most people just run the wire up through that stud, but if you do it the way that these was designed to do, all you do is just screw this completely off. Oop, well, look at me, I'll pick that up in a minute. But you screw this completely off and you feed the plastic clip over your wire, run it down, and then kind of bend the tip of your wire to slide it through. Then when you screw down, the wire is locked in the end of it and just comes straight out the end. Now, hold on just a second, let me get up for a second. Now, if you go to any kind of thrift shop, stuff like that, there's no telling what you're going to find. I found this clear PVC tubing for $3.99, as you can see. Yeah, what a deal. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat the tip just hot enough to make it pliable. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide them over these tips after the wire's done been terminated and put inside, so that way these clear tubings will be over, and if I'm in the lake with it or whatnot, say a branch snags it, it'll make it a little bit more sturdier. Plus it's keeping the main brunt of the water off of my wires, off of these terminals, and it'll just give it a more professional look. But as for this video, this is pretty much it. Now later on I'm going to seal this in with the epoxy, but like I said, I can't seal it in right now because I have to take this apart and seal the back side. So later on I will have that part done, and as soon as my relays come in, they're due in August 5th. You know, everything that comes from China is going to take forever. They're due in August 5th. Now I've got 10 relays coming. I paid I think $10 for them, for all 10. Now you can't buy a relay in the store for $1 basically a piece, especially these quality. You go to AutoZone, Advance, something like that, and they are almost $5 a piece. 12-volt relays are not cheap. These are 4-terminal relays. Now the 5-terminal relays, they basically do the same thing as the 4. It's just you have that extra ground. So I just picked the 4-terminal relays mainly because I wanted a LED, so when I've got the remote and I get ready to start using the ROV, I can switch on each individual, make sure all the coils to each relay is activating, and then if something goes wrong, say I'm in the lake and my reverse is not working, I can bring it back to the surface, bring it back to the beach, and then hit my reverse and see if the relay is engaging. That's what that LED is going to be able to show me, and then I know, well, hey, it's not the relay, it's something else in the wiring. But until next time, I will see you later. The usual, subscribe and like us on Facebook. But have a good day. This is Tinker Master Tech, and we're out for the day. Goodbye, people.